Hi, welcome back. Right now, we have two new members of Peace on the Streets. Introduce yourselves.
My name is Miguel Poblete. I'm one of the original Peace on the Streets members, and
I'm Melissa Schott, and I'm also one of the original Peace on the Streets members. And I mean, I came here just to help or solve the violence that's been happening on the streets that I've seen, knowing that it's been here for a lot longer than what I've seen. I guess just this year, it's been here for a while, but just want to see what we can do.
Yeah, the reason I joined the group was because it started affecting me personally, the violence that was happening in the community, and I saw lots of my friends hurt, lots of people crying, and it started changing the way I was living my life, and I started thinking, and I realized we really can make a change, ourselves, just one day it kind of clicked for me, and I realized youth really can make a change, and we really do have a voice if we just want to be heard, and that's my motivation to join this group and make a change.
I mean, I just want to say one thing, that the forum really, to me, it was the kind of the watershed. It really showed that we can make a difference, that we organized that whole thing by ourselves, and it took us about 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe a month, but it actually followed through. We got a lot of progress done, and we're hoping to make more, so really stoked.
Okay, so again, anyone can call in. The number is 425-8844. We're happy to take your calls. Right now, we have Natalia from Santa Cruz.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering if there's any upcoming events in the summer.
We currently do not have an event scheduled, but there is an event actually at Loudon Nelson. It's the Barrios Unidos Forum. It's June 16th from 6:15 to 8:30 p.m. And a lot of us from Peace on the Streets are planning on going.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we know of scheduled for the summer, but next year there will definitely be more forums from Peace on the Streets.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
That was my sister.
Yeah, I think it's just really important that not just us to go to our forums, but to have forums with everybody in the community, to bring everybody in, rather than we just want to spread the community.
Yeah,
together.
and the more forums, the better. The more, the forums themselves talking about it isn't going to bring about a huge change, but it makes people aware. It's a place where people can come together and get together as a group and realize, hey, I'm not the only one who feels this way, and I'm not the only one who wants to make a change. And that's really what the forum's all about and how they help, because a lot of people, I hear all the time, people say, well, what are you going to do? You can't do anything about it. And it's I really can do something about it. And the forums are a place where you realize, hey, with this group of people, we can get a movement going. And so the Barrios Unidos Forum is a good place for that. And since we're a school-based group, it's hard to meet when people are going on vacation and stuff, but we definitely, once the year starts, we'll kick back up again and keep the momentum going.
Okay, we have Jeannie from Santa Cruz.
Hi, this is fantastic what you guys are doing. I have to admit, I've heard of Barrios Unidos for a long time, but I don't really know what they do, so I wondered if you could elaborate on them and any of the other organizations that were at the forum. And also, I'm curious if those organizations were enthusiastic about what you guys are doing and kind of creating more of a connection with the student population. Thanks a lot.
The organizations were really enthusiastic at the forum. Everyone came up to us and they said, I think it's great what you guys are doing. I really want to help. It was a really great feeling that everyone was getting behind us.
Yeah, that's overwhelmingly, we heard that response time and time again, we're really proud of you guys, the youth getting together and putting on this student-led thing. And Barrios Unidos is an anti-gang work community-based group, and it's like ourselves. It's really a thing about unity of the entire community, not just embracing all of us getting together and being able to do a change.
Right, and they weren't like the only groups that had these really like nonviolent visions. A lot of the groups that were at the forum like had so many different ways to go around violence, you know, to solve the problems that are happening.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely to the other part of your question, it was really cool how the response that we got from everybody. Everybody seems to be excited that we're doing this, because there are tons of nonviolence groups, but not many that are student-led and student-driven.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and everyone was really excited to see that students were getting behind this
And
one.
that got
big
us
change.
excited. Like,
Yeah,
all right,
good.
let's do it.
Okay.
So we have Jan
Jan?
from Santa Cruz.
Hey.
Hey, Jan.
Hello.
Hello?
Whoa. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. My question is, do you understand when people tag, how to read the tagging on a fence? Or what motivates them to tag? What's the process of people tagging fences and walls?
To understand tagging, I think was the question.
Right, that was, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Graffiti is just,
It's a widespread, I mean, some people do it for art, some people do it to spread their word, some people do it for taking boundaries, you know. I mean, it's kind of just,
I mean,
it varies
there's
really.
different forms of graffiti. There's definitely graffiti artists who do it for a form of art, and you can tell when people are trying to put art on a wall, and when people are trying to put a gang sign on or like a gang motto or like, you know, just like symbol on a wall. I mean, it's really, graffiti is mostly a thing about territory, and like just having, it's like a way of having your voice heard or saying something without saying it. You put it up on a wall. I mean, definitely not for graffiti, like gang-related graffiti, but I think art-related graffiti is fine.
It's definitely like a personal motivation. I wouldn't know how to answer that question in a sense, depending on, I mean, it really depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Way of getting your voice heard.
Yeah.
We have Peggy from Santa Cruz.
Hi. I'm calling in because it seems that during the forum you were able to gather a lot of organizations, community organizations that are really trying to make a difference for youth and families in our community. And I'm wondering if you all have thought about connecting high school students, like at Santa Cruz High and at the other high schools, if they join Peace on the Streets, to actually try to make the connection so that students who are interested can be sort of, you can function as a conduit and a facilitator of connecting students with organizations that could really make a difference, so that you can really multiply your effect.
Yeah, I mean, that for sure, that's the vision. The vision is, it started as a Santa Cruz High thing, but we wanted it to get as big as it possibly can. I mean, there's really no limit to it. And I mean, I know we talk with organizations, we talked about maybe starting Santa Cruz chapter of the Brown Berets. And we talked to the SoCal group, Lucha, about starting to connect. And I mean, really, that definitely what we want to stress. This is not like an exclusive Santa Cruz High thing. This isn't, we're not setting boundaries to who can be in this. And we want to, with time, be able to extend and maybe start Peace on the Streets groups out of other schools. Like, we're kind of like a club too at Santa Cruz High. We'd love to be able to start this club in other schools and get this going so we get a really movement going, because it's really one thing to talk about it, it's another thing to do something about it.
Yeah. We're very open to everyone.
About what we were talking about earlier, I was actually really interested, like I want this group, being a member of this group, I would love to have this group expand as much as it can with like a lot of great minds. Like, I mean, just seeing the forum, or you know, just getting to know a lot of different people, having different views. I mean, it really helps us progress in this. And if we can get people from different high schools, I definitely am interested in the youth of Santa Cruz, and I am as well, like part of the youth. And I mean, I really think it's important for everybody to have a say, so.
Yes.
And yeah, just get people aware. So then, I mean, what we had thought, the kind of the brainstorms we'd come up with for taking action would be talking to middle school kids, like starting like a sort of tour where we have a group of, like a panel of students our age who can connect with middle school kids, because I think that's really powerful when you hear all the time, like, don't do drugs from adults, like, don't do this and that, and it gets to the point where I think kids just kind of like
they kind of blind it, they block it out, because
like,
that's what everybody tells them to do.
And it's just, it really has not a great effect. I think, I definitely think that we could have, our voices would have an impact on how kids feel, and like, oh, okay, wow, like, these kids are a couple years older than us, and see how it's affected them, and so then, yeah, because I think that's really, like, retaliation isn't going to get us anywhere. I mean, people always say, well, what are you going to, like, there's, trying to be peaceful about it isn't going to do anything about it. I think if we, educating the youth and educating an older generation of people, like, just about accepting other groups of people, accepting other ways of letting out energy that aren't violence, aren't joining, there's other groups you can join that don't have to be gangs.